Shout out to Gen Z Boomer, and yes, I had to write your question down. I had to write your question down because I don't have my iPad, and y'all know I like to be just very informative with my thoughts. So I had to write it down because it was a great question, and damn near brought me to tears thinking about it. No exaggeration. If we are observers observing our own observation, then where is the original I in the I am? Celestial rising, divine afternoon, and grand night to the beautiful deity. Why the hell would you drive? It's your divine reflection, divine messenger. And we are back with another message to understand. Always be mindful of other people's driving capabilities, because as I was driving outward of my parking spot, another car decides to drive along right with me as I am already driving straight. They decide to get out of their parking spot and drive to the right of me. Could have been a T-bone steak, and therefore I would have had some insurance on my plate. Therefore, if you choose to and you enjoy these messages, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more divine messages. And one thing I want to say is I really appreciate all of you for subscribing and liking my videos. And follow me on TikTok, Instagram, whatever the case may be. So, if we are observers observing our own observation, then where is the original I in the I am? We gotta understand that, for one, the original I in the I am, you gotta understand that the I in am literally is I am that I am. Literally. I can end the video right there, right then, but we'll just talk a little bit as I'm just driving. So I want to get my thoughts out because I got a lot on my mind. I just can't sleep. It's damn near 2 o'clock a.m. and I'm in the city right now just getting food and all that, and then right back to the crib. But yeah, with the original I and the I am, now understand as well, am and I would never be talking. So because these sounds are vibrating at such a high frequency, they don't hold any weight in the spiritual realm, which is why I'm saying that the original I and I am is not actually original, but it's inauthentic. When I say that, for one, it's very intelligent, but it's not authentic to itself, because why would the Almighty call itself the original observer when it's already the original observer? You don't have to sit here and tell us what you are, do an observation of what you're observing in. And the thing is, too, the original being literally exists within you. So in all my videos, when I basically am describing or articulating the fact that we can't fathom this entity or this species called God, we literally can't. I really can't provide much more information on that factor, because you gotta understand that, for one, the Almighty or the original I am that I am would never be speaking in the first place. So it's kind of like language does it no service, because we're just dumbing its frequency down, and that to me is blasphemy. That's actually a mockery. And on top of that, we mock the Almighty every single day by talking in general. That's exactly why a general doesn't really talk. They just let the soldiers go to war to understand what's really going on behind the art of war, and why it's so artistic to beings that are going to war with themselves. Now, that's the thing as well with the original I am, because the thing is too, if we going down to the rabbit hole, that original I am came from that being or that deity that we subconsciously submit ourselves to every single day. And that would basically be the subconscious mind. Because don't forget, we have dominion over this realm temporarily. Now the thing is too, we are dominions obtaining dominion over our domain with other dominions and principalities that come from the same exact plane that we were incarnated and interbred into, or interbreeded into. Now the thing is too, we are all breeded from the same exact consciousness that comes from one. Now the thing is too, when I say one, that one original infinite deity has the most originality amongst observers. When I say observers too, now we are observed by beings in higher places 24/7, but the being that observes those higher places 24/7 is basically the instance of what we think originality could be. That's exactly why the deities who are sitting there and attacking themselves by the interpretation of being I am, they're not being who they say they are, what they're wanting to be. Because the beings that want to be something in life, they're already being it right now. So if you're walking like God, talking like God, living like God, or having the mindset of a God-like entity or a species or a thought or a title that has no name, we are naming consciousness that has no name, nor will it name itself. So it's like, why would consciousness name itself? I'm finna go ahead and tap into some wizardry, nigga. of course, someone's gonna be like, whoa, what do you mean by wizardry? We're gonna just play alchemy with energy, because of course we're gonna go and drive. We don't really got night lights or street lights on most of the highways, but let's keep on going with it though. So everything is perception from the Almighty Creator, literally. Now the thing is too, when I say the Almighty Creator, which one am I talking about besides the one and only Creator that we give praise to daily? You may call it the Lord, Satan, Lucifer, Jesus, yourself, your mom, your dad, the commandments, cars, the road, etc. It goes by so many names that the Almighty just stopped caring. And the thing is too, the Almighty is observing itself through our perception. When I use that word perception too, I literally mean that, for one, we are perceiving what we think God can think of. And we know that, for one, God's thoughts are so infinite, they think of themselves. Our thoughts don't come from us. They come from a wiring or a programming or a neural network of actual entities that have that exact same transmutation or that connection with the mediumship of guardianship towards higher planes of existences. So you are basically, so your body literally is the highway. So as I'm on the highway right now driving, your body is the highway. Literally, if you look into your body, all these networks, all these veins, all these different just systems in your body, your avatar, that's exactly what your body looks like. All the lights, the cars, the electrons, the neutrons, the protons, all the cells, all your DNA structure, your genetics, all these different things that we want to put within our system. That's exactly what's happening outside of your validation. So every single day, you are driving, you are talking, you are seeing, you are hearing, you are smelling, you are thinking of things that you come up with. Because the Almighty never came up with anything of this shit, but we decided to come up with it because we wanted to act out in a play that we want to star in. Imagine you playing, like you're playing in a role or a movie or a house at a young age. You want to be the director, the producer, the star. You want to be the audience. You want to just be all of the above, which you can be. You are basically a boss at a young age. Cool. But now with that, we got to stop rebelling against systems that decide to make a game out of our lifestyle. We have to play the game that is designed to go against us and ourselves as well. Because the game that we are going up against and playing with and playing in is just basically us not understanding how we should be playing the game within our own mind. Our mind is the gamer, the controller, it's a game console, it's the disc, it's a memory card, it's the plug for the back to charge, like to charge it up, or even plug it in to get the power going for it. Because of course, if you plug the outlet from the PS5 or Xbox, for example, you won't have nothing to like play with, because of course you need that power surge to go into the back so that you can connect it to the wall or your power outlet or whatever, and now boom, you're good to go. When you have these things, even connection as well, the connection that we have even through our phones, your mind is the phone. So when you're holding your phone, you're literally holding yourself. When you type, when you're researching, when you're looking through videos, you're seeing or hearing different things, all you're doing is just hearing what you're thinking about out loud. That's all this is. It's a mind game, literally, for a reason, because if we went in life knowing everything at a young age, what's the point of even existing? What's the point of even existing if you're going about life already understanding where you are coming from, what you're doing here, why you are here, and the reason why you got to go through these different things or situations, you know, these traumatic events that are happening to you, why things are being placed in your forefront or your family's forefront, etc. You decide to play whatever game that you want to lead yourself in. Because are you a leader or a follower? And the thing is too, if you answer with either or of that answer, you are still unconsciously lying to me about what you think you are. You can't follow nor lead yourself, because who are you through an observation? I'm just asking a question. Who are you through an observation? If you cannot follow or lead yourself in this realm, what are you following and leading then unconsciously? That's exactly why you got to make sure that the things that you are allowing on your phone, in your daily life, in your ear, in your friend groups, etc., all these different things that you are going through, you have to make sure that you are catering to how you feel mentally. Your thoughts got feelings, but you can't feel feelings. Your thoughts have feelings, but you can't feel feelings, because if we are God, how are you feeling an unconscious feeling of what feelings can't comprehend themselves to be? Boy, I should jump out of this goddamn car right now for talking like this, because only God can think like this. And what God am I talking about? Like, it's a miracle to think outside of your own contradictions. That's why logic came into play. That's why Luciferian occultic ideal worshiping and idealistic worshiping illusions came into play with illusionaries. We are all illusionaries casting spells on ourselves every single day. If you want to lead a simulation, go ahead and take your life. Nobody's forcing you to stay alive every single day because you're not here anyway. But you choose to do that every single day. And why is that? Why is that? Because you decide to keep on fighting on every single day, no matter how you feel. That's why you got to ask yourself as a man and a woman. Excuse me. When somebody breaks your heart, when somebody makes you laugh, when somebody makes you cry, makes you mad, happy, joyful, peaceful, calm, ascended, enlightened, inspired. If somebody can make you or program you to feel that certain way about themselves, about how they feel about themselves, what does that make you feel like through yourself? If somebody's making you feel a certain way through a two-dimensional screen or a 3D, 4D, etc., through all these different realms that have no number, if somebody can do that to your mind and rewire your mind and make you question what your mind is, what does that make them to you? You may put a name on it, but would God name itself God? So what the fuck is God to us? So now we're talking about I and am. For one, Almighty God would never say I am that I am. So when that consciousness was talking to Moses by the burning bush or whatever the case, I could be wrong, because of course it's just Luciferian tiles any fucking way. So when consciousness was speaking to itself, basically, so when the conscious mind was talking to the unconscious mind in that story, basically saying, go down to the village or go down towards the peak from this mountain that we're on and tell them I am that I am sent you here with the commandments, etc. Okay, cool. I am that I am sent me. So you sent yourself unconsciously through a body that you possessed and incarnated into to send a message that basically was in a contradiction that people still can't contradict to this day. So how do you think that they're going to comprehend who I am is when they don't know who I am? How do we think unconscious beings will comprehend who I am when they don't know who I am? Because who am I to them? If I ask them, who are you? They would say, I am that I am. Who are you when I am that I am? Niggas would be like, what are you talking about? Exactly. Why are we talking in general? These words, these thoughts get so deep into a rabbit hole, you have to actually pick up your thoughts and say, all right, I ain't gonna lie, I can't carry all of y'all, so I'm gonna detach from basically all of y'all and find some new thoughts every single day along the way. Because it's like we can't sit here and mesmerize on what God thinks it is. We had to detach from what God thinks it is. If God is thinking, that's a problem. If God is thinking, that's a problem. And it's like, what are you talking about? We are in a higher way of thinking right now. I hope you know that. Our thoughts are traveling so fast that the sweetest sound and light can't even fathom it itself. We are sitting down driving on our thoughts on a highway. How is that possible when it's my way or the highway? And the highway is my way through my thoughts. Every truck I see, every car I'm looking at right now, in the rear view, in the back side, in the front view right here, it's all my perception of what I think I am. I'm in a car right now, so what do I see? Other me's in a car right now, or a truck, or whatever the case may be. That's how powerful the mind can get. If you can't control this, then you can't control reality. If you can't control reality, then who's controlling it for you? That's why only the strong can survive. When you're strong-minded, you'll really understand that all you really have is a creator of creators that are observing your creation. It's divine oneness of everything and anything. We will never be able to comprehend who I am nor you. Because who are me and who is you? When I am you and you are me. But who the fuck are we when we are being in divinity currently, temporarily, for a limited period of time? And the thing is too, time is not limited through the absence of what it periodically thinks it could be. Time thinks it's so infinite that it had to sit there with itself and say, I'm 2025 years old. Bitch, no you're not. No you're not. You have no number attached to you. So realistically, I'm gonna ask you, divinity, how long have we been here? If you put a number on it, you just lied to me and yourself once again. Why do you keep doing that? And see, the thing is too, it's so funny, it's so comedic to the fact that no matter what you do, you're going to always contradict yourself. Because why? We have the gift of a voice or a throat gateway that makes us think our thoughts out loud. And who gave us access to our thoughts out loud? Don't blame it on Satan or God. Don't do that, because now you are still talking about yourself. I ain't gonna lie, I think that's all I have, because yeah, that's all I have. Have a great one for the Divine Reflection. Damn.